Why did Baldur say we cost him?
Odin must have convinced him that following you to Jotunheim would bring his cure. Lies, I'm sure.
Why did he break the spell?
Vanir magic is powerful, but its rules are slippery and elusive. I'm taking credit for the witch. Oh, but it's also bloody tragic. Baldur was the greatest gift Odin granted Freya. The one thing she treasured from their marriage. She only hoped to spare him pain and spare herself loss. But such impulses can lead good parents to make terribly stupid decisions.
Okay. Tell me again how Odin knew we were going to Jotunheim before we did.
Odin is extremely clever, you see. Nearly as clever as he thinks he is. And he's a collector of prophecies. If it's about the future, he adds it to his collection. Helps him style himself as all-seeing and all-knowing. But of course, the idea is control. Control of the future, control of his fate. He'd control every realm of every land in every... Even if you've never posed a threat before, he may think one day you might. So you see, it's not important how he knew before you did. It's important that he was right.
What happened to the city?
I'm not entirely sure, lad. It was abandoned long before Jormungandr came to town and flooded the place.
I wonder what it was like to live here.
I see something down there.
Mimir, you never told me what happened with the stonemason's son.
Hrimthur, son of Thamur. After completing his father's masterwork, the Great Wall of Jotunheim, he thought of nothing but making the Aesir pay for their crimes against the giants. Once he longed to fight Thor, but tragedy had brought wisdom to Hrimthur, and cunning. He observed that Asgard's walls were half-built and shoddy, for no Aesir god could be bothered with such tiresome labour. So Hrimthur adopted the guise of an ordinary man, and made the Aesir an offer.
Thank you, by the way.
For what?
For saving me. I know I screwed things up before Baldur grabbed me.
You did. But you are my son.
So then, Hrimthur, the stonemason's son in disguise, offered to fix Asgard's walls. And if he succeeded, he asked only for an audience with the goddess Freya. Odin agreed, knowing the task was impossible, but intrigued by this stranger. Hrimthur made short work of it, of course. He had the benefit of his father's training and the aid of a magical stallion for fetching stones. Odin, but he seemed to uphold his end of the bargain. Freya was sent to meet the mason, and to her surprise, he wanted only to whisper something in her ear. Or I can just tell you this story later.
Another name. Ulrich.
It's as if they've been made into a memorial to the Valkyries.
So, Thor just wanted to whisper in Frey's ear?
Aye. That being done, he made his way out of Asgard. And when he found Thor awaiting him at the gates of Midgard, he knew he had been double-crossed. But he didn't care, because his plan was complete.
It was? What did he say to Freya?
Only she could say for certain, but I've had many moons to work it out. Hrimthur knew that Freya loathed the Aesir, despite her marriage with him, and I believe he gave her the secret to Asgard's defences. Some weakness he may have built in, structural or magical, which I expect will be exploited come Ragnarok when Surtur arrives to burn Asgard to ash. If not sooner.
Got any more giant stories, Mimir?
Well, if you see any more shrines about, you can always ask.
Mimir, what else did the serpent tell you when you spoke? Kinda sounded important.
I'm sure it's nothing. He just said the boy seemed familiar to him.
Me? That's impossible.
Though I quite agree. Unless, perhaps, he refers to something yet to be. It is said that when Jormungandr and Thor battle at Ragnarok, their clash so violently shakes the Tree of Life that it splinters, casting the serpent backward through time, even before his own birth.
What?
That is madness.
Well, I did say not to concern yourself.
Is it a good idea coming back here?
She's probably in there planning your demise, brother.
Or bringing Baldur back to life? Like she did you, Mimir.
Oh, I'm not alive, lad. I'm reanimated, sure. But make no mistake, I'm still quite dead. I'll never be what I once was. She won't want this for her son. Trust me.
That's a relief. Not the part about you being dead, but, you know.
for releasing my physical form. I have only gratitude.
Why were you trapped?
I am uncertain. My mind, still fragmented. The Rokstol av Valkyr. It is the last thing I remember.
The what?
Valhalla awaits. I must return.
The Rokstol av Valkyr.
What is that, Mimir?
It's a council chamber of sorts, hidden away in Midgard. The Valkyries would often need a place to confer outside of Odin's prying eyes. They thought themselves properly concealed, but the All-Father sees all, so the saying goes.
Where is it?
We weren't far from it on our way to Thomur's Chisel. The entrance is to the left of the two oarsmen statues.
You failed to mention this at the time.
You'd think we'd be hunting down Valkyries at the time, brother.
Think we'll find out why the Valkyries are like this?
That chamber held a special significance for them. We'll find something there, I'm certain of it.
Why is Odin so desperate to find a way into Jotunheim anyway?
He's convinced the giants hold the key to changing his fate when Ragnarok comes. They are the Aesir's oldest enemies, after all, and it's their army that's supposed to do him in the end. But more than that, he covets their gifts of prophecy. He wants to know what they know and see what they see. So much suffering could have been avoided if his insatiable...
What do you mean?
Ah, remind me to tell you why they call him the Lord of the Hanged.
You want a beach here?
Can you read it?
Yes, sir. These runes read death inside.
I need that alchemist for something I'm stewing up for you. If when you're smart, you'll find him.
So, Brock said his friend was dwarven like him, wearing a green ring.
Look if you wish. I will be gathering resources for our journey.
You don't want to help him?
No,
Why not?
because I do not run errands for dwarves.
Oh. That's the Soul Eater. If that kills us, that's it. No Valhalla, no hell, no afterlife, ever.
It does not attack.
Mom made them sound more dangerous than that.
Then do not drop your guard. Come. Not him.
Hey, I thought you didn't care.
I noticed the lack of ring while looting the body.
Oh. There's the ring! On that severed hand! Attached to the Soul Eater. Well, we know what happened to Invari now. We can just go tell Brock. No need to fight it, right?
No. We will fight it.
But why?
Because you are frightened of it. Be strong, Atreus. Stay focused, and look for a weak point. Stay quiet. Make no sudden movement.
Let's see if that's the alchemist's ring.
Green ring. Dwarvish inscription.
The alchemist. But where's the rest of him?
Ashes, most likely.
The Soul Eater got him. I guess we should bring this back to Brock. These runes were written fast. It spells out... Ejim Staney. I don't know that one.
We will ask the blue one.
So now you're interested?
We found his alchemist. A reward was promised.
Okay, here we go!
What'd you find?
Your alchemist.
I'm sorry, Brock. The hand is all we could find. Still wearing the ring. There was a Soul Eater inside. And well, it must have burned away the rest of him.
Suppose you'll still be wanting some compensation, huh?
Naturally.
Naturally, he says. Miani Peruxi. I'll take a closer look at this here ring. Maybe Andvari left a bit of magic inside before he croaked.
Dwarves that?
Sure, dwarves and magic jewels is like flies and pig lips. Supple ones.
Ugh. I'm not as interested as I thought.
Oh there. Got another favor to ask you two.
What do you want, dwarf?
I got another lead on my old pal Andvari. Meet me at the Lawnsoother mines. There's some fancy-dancy loot in it for you.
Another lead? But we already found him. Well, found his hand anyways.
I'll explain at the mines. These ones is just south of the river pass. Now you two want something, or you just gonna stand there all gag-scrapped and slack-jawed? Pulled the ring off under. Was always tampering with souls and dark rituals and matters of the night, see?
Here, boy. Another one.
This one is Thrym, a frost giant king.
Correct. A cunning one as well.
Is that Mjolnir? Did he steal Thor's hammer?
Aye, for a time.
A lot of these seem to end with Thor killing them.
Imagine that.
Another name.
Someone who loved the Valkyries enough to do this? I wonder. Perhaps the Queen?
Lemire, why don't you tell us the story of the giant that stole Thor's hammer?
Happily, my boy. It involves your friend Freya, too, though I don't expect it's one she'd enjoy being reminded of. The giant was called Thrym, and he proved cunning enough to make off with Mjolnir while the Thunder Lummox slept. Sadly for Thrym, he didn't always think with his brain. Though he had robbed the greatest giant killer of his greatest weapon, he offered to trade it back to the Aesir in exchange for Freya as his bride. Now, at this point, Freya was married to Odin, and Odin, frankly, would have traded her for a sufficiently strong mead, but he saw an opportunity here. Thrym's palace was in Jotunheim, and only giants know the way. By agreeing to the marriage, they'd have to escort Freya back to their realm. So, Odin and infiltrate Jotunheim. You know what? I'll tell this one later.
Well, looky who decided to show. Talk to this here ring.
What? I can't hear thoughts from rings, Brock. It's talking to me! It's Andvari!
Ha! Knew it.
He says he went to the Velnder mines to observe his mistake, but then the Soul Eater attacked, so as he was being ripped apart, he and then he...
What about all his stuff?
Huh?
Andvari had a workshop here with all sorts of posh doodads and ornatery tools, and one beaut of a hammer. You make mention of it still in there?
You're upsetting him.
Your point? You fellas take Andvari with you and go have a look-see. If you find his hammer, I'll whip up something real nice for you. Hey now, don't go forgetting your entry stone.
Andvari isn't happy about us taking his stuff.
I do not care.
I'm not gonna tell him that. Andvari says this dwarf was part of his crew, that he died because of his mistakes. He sounds sad.
The ring's grief is of little importance, boy.
Oh, he did not like that. He's warning us not to go down there.
Stop listening to the ring, boy. Cannot be trusted. Silence that ring, boy.
I don't know how. A soul eater.
And a traveler. Guard up.
Oh boy.
Ready yourself, boy.
A dead soul eater. What's a soul eater even doing here? What do you mean it's your fault?
Boy, ignore him.
It's sort of tough for me to ignore. He says this chest will trigger a bunch of traps.
I see no traps.
Sounded so sure about it. Navari says his workshop is up there. But I know. Don't trust the talking ring.
Boy.
Father, please, just listen. Invari's crew did something bad to him. He's glad you destroyed his lab, and he's sorry he kept trying to trick us. His hammer is just through this gate. Can we keep him?
We will talk to the blue one. This is a fine hammer.
Invari says thank you.
You two find that hammer, or you too busy looting every keyhole and cranny?
Here, the alchemist's hammer. His spirit is a nuisance.
Asshole. Hell of an alchemist, though. Hand him over here and I'll melt him down.
What? You're going to melt down your friend?
A trapped soul's what I need to give your reward some extra oomph. You don't want it?
Father, we can't do that. Here, you hold on to him. He's really useful, I promise.
Fine. So long as he proves his worth.
Kid's a bit of a softy, huh? Well, he'll grow out. My brother and me got a new project. Come see us at the temple if it so please you.
So why do they call Odin the Lord of the Hang?
That refers to a modest example of Odin's thirst for knowledge. The time he spent 9 days a dead man. hung himself by the neck from Yggdrasil's branches. All tree of its think quite rightly, it got fed up with him and sent him back to the land of the living. Did I not mention he was barking mad?
Here's something I can't figure out. Odin wants to prevent Ragnarok, but the serpent's already been there and seen it. So hasn't he already failed?
Fate's a tricky thing, lad. And Odin's just arrogant enough to think he can get the best of it.
Fate is another lie told by the gods. Nothing is written that cannot be unwritten.
On that, brother, you and the All-Father may just agree. Even if he can't prevent Ragnarok, he still hopes to learn enough details to influence the outcome. Remind me later to tell you about the wolves.
My brother and me got a new project, now that we're on speaking terms.
What do you want?
With the whetstone and hammer you've retrieved for us, Brock and I can construct the Dvegrathikr, dwarven armor of legend.
We just need 3 more mythical ingredients before we set to hammering.
Which are...
Dunno. Armor's pure legend, and the details is fuzzier than a wolver's butthole.
You expect us to find parts from a legend?
Oh, Motsognir the Dwarf King found 2 of them. Everyone knows that. But when he went looking for the 3rd...
Poof! He vanished. Maybe he'll find some clues at his stronghold in Konungsgard.
And looky here. A Konungsgard entry stone. It's got your name on it. How fucking strange. The stronghold's northwest of here, behind the Svartalfheim Realm Tower.
Large stone structure, creepy atmosphere. You'll know it when you see it. Hold it, brother. Back in action again.
Brother, the way to Jotunheim's back in the realm travel room.
We do not know what resistance we will face when we return. Best to conclude our outstanding business now.
Reasonable enough.
I'm glad Brock and Sindri were able to work out their differences.
Now they are twice as irritating.
I think it's nice to see them trust each other again. Mimir, you were in the middle of a story before.
Was I? Oh, yes! Odin sent Freyr to marry Thrym the Cunning, while Thor, under magical concealment, infiltrated Jotunheim in search of his stolen hammer. When the hammer was produced as the wedding dowry, Thor revealed himself. He took back Mjolnir and wasted no time in smashing Thrym's skull, followed by every other giant present for the festivities. The only thing that put a stop to it was Freyr, who wanted no part of this massacre. She cast a powerful spell that hurtled them both out of Jotunheim with no means of return. Odin was livid, hoping that Thor's foothold in Jotunheim would become his own. And oh, would he ever revenge himself upon Freyr?
What is the point of this story, Head?
Well, for Thrym, the lesson would be to keep his priorities straight. For Freyr, it's that doing good has a price. For Thor, it's that no object of power makes you what you are. And if what you are is the biggest butchering bastard in the 9 realms, nobody can take that away from you.
Greetings, and welcome to Konungsgard. I just want to make sure you're good and prepared before heading in any further. There's all manner of nastiness left over from the Mad Dwarf King's foul practices.
What kind of practices?
Oh, various sacrificing, dark enchantments, blood, magic, and so forth. Quite common among the older dwarves, unfortunately. Old habits are hard to break. To work we go. Oh, what? Nothing? Oh, okay.
Whoa. Look, it's another dragon.
I see it, boy.
Chained. I hope we can find the binding shrines. This place is huge. If the Dwarf King captured more than one dragon, he must have needed them to create this legendary armor.
Interesting thought, lad. And contains power. Teeth, scales, even excrement.
Excrement?
Shit!
Dragon shit is powerful?
Aye, lad. Totally powerful.
That is having fun with you.
Oh, I knew. That's an impressive front door. These materials must be pretty to make it together. I'm sure it's worth the effort. Don't you trust them at least?
I trust you, Atreus. I do not trust the legend.
Oh. Stone number 2. This place is even bigger than Vadergard.
Yes, the Dwarf King's reach appears vast.
Wonder what happened to him.
'Tis a great mystery, even amongst the sons of Ivaldi. Mozargnir's behaviour before his disappearance grew increasingly erratic.
Why?
The Devegrathika, the very armour you find yourself searching for. Though he found 2, I'd wager his failure to find the 3rd ingredient drove into madness. Ways to find out, but they're rather messy.
I guess it doesn't matter. One more to go.
You enjoy freeing them.
Well, yeah. Still seems like the right thing to do. Come here. Why did the Dwarf King want this armor so bad?
Many legends behind the Devegrathika. A suspicious amount of legends, which makes confirming anything about this particular armor difficult. But the one constant among them is the ability of the armor to offer ultimate protection. A useful attribute for an unpopular king, you see.
Yet this plagued land is all that remains of him. This is why you do not trust legends, boy.
What can you trust?
Yourself, your eyes, your instincts. Blind trust in a legend is a gamble.
If you say so. Still won't open? Looks like we need 3.
Right behind!
are strong here. Keep your guard up.
We're in. Okay. Do you hear that?
No. What do you hear, boy?
Crying. And screams. Large crowd of people.
Just old spirits, I suppose. Leftover victims of the Mad Dwarf's reign. Still, that's rather ominous.
Look here. Another.
Stargather. Wow. That's a lot of arms.
That's fair to say.
6, 7, 8? Could he shoot 4 bows at once?
More of a swordsman. He did only have the 2 eyes.
It looks like Thor cut him down to size.
It's what he does.
They're getting louder. They sound almost like Hellwalkers. Hey, look at this. A blood trail.
There's a passage behind this throne.
A secret passage!
Well, wouldn't be a proper throne room without a secret passage.
Boy.
Huh. Interesting. I may want to write that down. The things you pulled from him. Those must be the 3 mythical ingredients Brock was talking about.
I can say with utmost certainty that I've never laid eye on a stranger set of objects in my life.
How are Brock and Sindri supposed to build with whatever they are?
Don't count the dwarves out, lad. They're right pricks, but they're resourceful. They once made an unbreakable chain out of little more than a cat's footstep and bird spit.
That doesn't even make sense.
Well, that's the legend. If you wanted sense, you shouldn't be talking to a severed head.
this place looked like in better times.
Conan's Guard was a beautiful land in its heyday, before the Dwarf King's obsession poisoned his mind.
How could...
And pursued it without thought to the consequences. This is the result.
Trust is a gamble. Like you said. And the Dwarf King lost.
Have you considered a tactical retreat?
Yes, sir.
Found the legendary materials? Incredible. Oh, this is so exciting. Meet me back at the temple and we'll get started right away.
Sindri, have you always been so...
Clean? Huh. Don't I wish. No, I was just as unsanitary as the next dwarf until the day a Vanir witch set me straight. She discovered with her magic there are hundreds of thousands of tiny beasties on everything around us. Oh, so small you can't even see them.
No.
It's true. And if they get inside you, they make you sick. But the witch told me there's one wood, the oak, that's a natural deterrent. Stops the beasties from spreading. So now, I make all my handles from oak. See? I think of these things. Okay, back to work.